This is the Man Stop It podcast. Man Stop It. Man Stop It. Yo. It's your boy Big West, Man Stop It podcast. Got a special guest in the building. Ealy. How you doing, my man?
Doing good, man. How you, man?
Nice to have you, man.
Man, it's a pleasure being
It's a
here.
pleasure. Nah, I appreciate you for coming, man. Even though we just known each other, what, a week or something like that?
Yeah,
Probably
close to it. Close
to a week?
Yeah, close to it.
Yeah, so, tell me something, man. Like, where you from?
Originally Huntsville, Alabama.
You originally from Huntsville, Alabama?
Originally from Huntsville, Alabama. My family is definitely from Joliet, Illinois.
Joliet?
Yeah, my family's from Joliet, but we moved to Alabama when I was like 4 years old, so my mama raised me down in Alabama.
Oh.
Yeah.
So y'all moved to Alabama when you was 4?
Right. My parents were, my dad was in the Air Force, and my parents actually ended up getting divorced over in England. And yeah, when they came back over here, my dad stayed in Joliet, and my mom went down to Alabama with her sister, who she married, a Mississippi man. And that was our only family for real. So she was like, "I'll just go down here and raise my son down in Alabama." And that's where I was at.
So you the only child? Or?
Yeah, I was the only child. I do have my dad remarried, and I do have a brother and sister from that marriage. Yeah, so I got a brother and sister from my dad and my bonus mom. So just for my mom and my dad, I'm the
you're the only child. Wow.
Yeah.
So how was your growing up? How would you describe your childhood?
I think I would have like the quote unquote American childhood. Being in the South, as much American black as you can get. Of course, I had to come home before the street lights came on, one of those type of deals. Yeah, I was, regular kid. I was a soccer kid. I was an athlete. So I would, I was also a latchkey kid. So I was one of those kids who had to come home and, lock the door behind me and put my little Easy Mac in the microwave and turn on Boy Meets World and, wait for my mom to come home. So, yeah.
It's still on? Okay, yeah. So, so you just the only child at home?
Yeah, only child. It was only me. It was only me and my mom.
Wow.
My mom worked 2 jobs for pretty much most of my life just to, get us through. And she put me through all the, sports, all the things she could be there at the time, the time she could be there, she could be there. But yeah, for the most part, man, I had a wonderful childhood. I had all the friends growing up, I had all the things, I think all the kids could want.
You was partly raised in Joliet, what? So you was like 4, you saying?
Yeah. My got both sides of my family are from Joliet. Actually, my mom and my dad grew up on the same street, Water Street, South End of Joliet. So I would actually come up here in the summers and be with my dad. And he lived in Joliet, he lived in Aurora. So yeah, I would be up here with him all summer, and I go back to Alabama for the school year. Okay. You got both worlds now. Alabama, Chicago, Joliet. Yeah, Joliet.
Yeah. I got people in Joliet.
Oh yeah?
My auntie, yeah. My son's name, Fat A. Shout out Fat A, man, Joliet.
Shout out Joliet, man. Shout out Joliet. Shout out to Evans, Evans for sure.
Yeah, alright, cool, yeah. But so I say, like, what inspired you? You say you were acting, you acting. So what really inspired you to be an actor?
Man, it was it was really I would say like destiny kind of like, because I didn't. It's crazy when I was talking about my mom and my dad grew up on the same street. My dad actually met my mom one night because my dad was doing this kind of play thing with my mom's brother. Mm-hmm. And my dad didn't know my mom or whatever, but they met this day doing a play in their basement or whatever. So it was kind of like predestined when they met, they was going to have a kid act. But I actually grew up playing soccer my whole life because I was in England for a little minute. And they were playing. Yeah. So my dad was in the Air Force.
Yeah, he was in the Air Force.
Yeah. So I was over there for about...
military kid.
Yeah, a little military brat, for sure. Yeah, it's a story.
Kid, man. Yeah, you got a great story, man. So you got into acting and.
Yeah, I was a soccer player my whole life, man. I played soccer. That's all I wanted to do. Like I was gonna go to the MLS. Like you couldn't tell me I wasn't gonna be Freddie Adu. That's just what I wanted to do. I love
Freddie
Adu. He was one of the youngest. Shout out to Freddie Adu. He's one of the youngest soccer players in America. He went to the MLS at age 15. Right. He's a professional soccer player. I always looked up to him. So you really couldn't tell me I wasn't gonna be Freddie Adu, but. I ended up getting hurt my junior year of high school, and I hurt my knee, and then I really didn't have much going on as far as high school after that, for real. So these guys that graduated a year before me, they came back to my theater class. Well, let me rewind. I had to take an arts credit to graduate high school, and I took theater. And my theater teacher was like, yo, you should, take theater too. And I'm like, alright, well, I ain't doing nothing else, so why not? Mm-hmm. So my senior year, I took theater too, and these two brothers that I knew the year before, they came back to our theater class and they were like, hey man, what y'all doing, man? Y'all should come down to Alabama State, shout out Alabama State University, go Hornets. They was like, y'all should come down to Alabama State, and some black actors down there, you know what I'm saying? We doing the thing, Shakespeare, all the stuff. And so I was like, alright, bet. And I applied, ended up getting in, and I went to Alabama State for acting. So, and that's how I really started with the whole acting thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it was definitely a turn.
Here you go, getting in my Uber.
It's so wild.
Yeah, there you go, getting in my Uber, man. I meet a lot of people though. I met another actor, and he sent me his clips from Chicago PD and stuff like that. But yeah, you go get in my Uber. We got to talking. I talk to a lot of young people, man. Get in my Uber because I'm trying to really like push for peace, man. With Chicago, there's a lot going on in the city, man.
For sure.
With the internet, there's so many bloggers and other people. It's a lot going on, being messy and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you watch a lot of YouTube or do you watch like bloggers and podcasts and stuff like that.
Definitely do. Definitely like big fan of all the big ones, of course. Dream Champs and
So I've never really watched none of them.
Mm.
So I'm just gonna tell you like where I got it from, cause my son is a rapper. Like I told you that.
Yeah, for sure.
His name Ruger. Shout out my son.
Yeah, shout out Ruger.
I just had my son on here, so yeah, he a rapper, man. My little cousin Duck, who got killed 2020. Shout out my little cousin, I love you, cousin.
Rest in peace,
so that's what made me get into it. So I just, it's a lot going on.
Yeah.
With them in the city of Chicago, all through the city. So I talk to a lot of young guys that get in my Uber. So what happened? You got in there, you told me you was an actor. I'm like, wow, you might well be on my podcast.
Yeah. I mean,
you instantly was like, yeah, I'll do it.
Shut up.
No problem. See, that's love, man. We don't, that's what, and I just started off. So I'm just starting off as a podcaster. So like I say, I didn't watch a lot of people, but I checked out Dream Champs and Ealy and them. I watch a lot of, so now I'm starting to watch them so I can get the ideas and stuff, But I came up with this idea.
Yeah.
From with my son being on the road with him, that's where the Man Stop It come from. With us being on the road and we out there doing little silly stuff. Oh man, stop it, man.
Yeah.
So that's where the Man Stop It come from. And I met this other young guy, my Uber, who write books, and he gave me a book. So I sent him a picture of my hoodies, my merch, and he was like, man, you should make a podcast from that. So that's where it come from, man. So
I love it. I really love it.
Yeah, so I be trying to talk to a lot of guys, man. I appreciate you for coming, man. You know what I'm saying? So
man, I'm all about that for real.
Yeah, so